It's all true, you guys.
So,
Alright, welcome back to Dark Heresy. Good, I did the screen regions correct. Oh, I couldn't remember if I did it or not. Anyways. Where we left off. You were all hanging out. Well, not Tibsy. Tibsy wasn't there yet. Well, everybody but Tibsy was hanging out in Zerbey's office. Zerbey excuses you to do some paperwork before he does it and looks to Neelis. As soon as the tech priest shows up, please have him come to the Great Hall, and we will continue our discussion.
Tech priest?
Yes, you had a tech priest with you, Tybalt Metalis.
Oh, is Tybalt set to arrive?
Yes, he was set to arrive yesterday, but I believe that there was some problems with his transportation, so he should be arriving shortly. We just got a notification from his ship that he will be making dock soon.
Excellent. Thank you, my lord.
And you,
I bow to him. What's the proper, like...
the Imperial salute.
Okay, salute him.
Yeah. I mean, you can also bow. Like,
Okay.
it would be... because he's Lord Inquisitor, you could, you know...
You're right.
It would make sense to bow as well. But yeah, the normal thing is just the Imperial salute.
Okay.
So,
is it
yes.
just like a normal military salute?
It's a Roman salute.
Oh, okay.
At least, I think it was. Can't remember. It's been a long time since I read about the Imperial Guard. So yes, you leave the Inquisitor's office and head out of the Great Hall and back to the docking area. Within a few moments, you see a small but remarkably familiar skiff coming down from the skies. You remember that Mercutio made landfall with it, and that it was the ship that saved you and took you off of Wrath. As it approaches and docks, both Tybalt Metalis and Natalia Corvus exfil the ship, the small shuttle, and make their way over to you. Natalia instantaneously, seemingly, noticing where you were and guiding Tybalt over.
Good.
She stands a little bit behind Tybalt and doesn't say anything as they approach.
Tibsy, Natalia.
7 inches in just 1 year. Fucking 17 now. Thank you. No longer the child you knew.
Good.
Tibsy, Natalia, it is good to see you again, my friends.
Neelis, likewise.
Natalia just kind of nods in the back.
The Lord Inquisitor is requesting to see all of us, and you, Tybalt.
Me specifically?
The group of us.
Alright. Lead the way.
Before we do that, product placement.
Shit.
Wait. I want to do some too.
Fuck. I don't have anything.
Good.
When I'm defending the Imperium...
God damn it, Zach. We don't need to know about you masturbating on stream.
What? It's a fucking fan. The best fan. Climate Keeper.
It blows you all night, right?
That's gonna be in the stream.
Anyway, Grim Darkness for our future.
And this is how Dark Heresy gets sponsored.
Put me on the spot. I don't have shit.
Good. So before we proceed with the
Here. The fucking movie tie-in.
Movie tie-in. Twinkies!
let's just go with the Twinkies tie-in.
Yep.
Before we go on back into the room with the
Catch Days of
Inquisitors.
Future Past in theaters now.
Good. Zach, let's hear what you've been up to in the last year.
Backstory.
How much am I allowed to...
Well, you can say as much or as little as you want. Besides
Table's not
nothing.
gonna tell them shit. So... I can tell them after the stream.
You can tell
Table's
them
not
now.
gonna
This
say
isn't
Oh.
you telling them. This is you just saying for the stream where you've been.
Oh. I've been having wonderful adventures with Coretta and Mercutio, and the last 5 months I've spent on a ship alone, just Natalia and I. Just a small, cramped ship, no stops, flying through space, trying to get back to you guys. I have no penis, so I don't know what you're going for. Chop that thing off.
It's okay, you have
Years ago.
mechadendrites, right?
Huh?
Exactly.
I don't have any
God
mechadendrites.
damn it.
I would. And it has
Anyways,
an eye on the end of it, so that would have been exciting.
could have seen things no man's ever seen before.
Yeah.
Into that.
I would have had an optical mechadendrite, which can grow to the diameter of a pencil.
Ooh.
Not sure why you know that.
Says
It
it in the
specifically
book.
says so in the core rulebook, and I read that.
They're oddly specific in the rulebook.
Yeah. And I think it can grow up to 3 meters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It doesn't grow up to 3 meters. It's
Sorry, it can
attached.
stretch.
Yeah.
It can unreel up to 3 meters and grow to the thickness of a pencil. But
Yep.
it can also shrink down, but I don't remember the specific on how small it gets. Either way,
Sure.
yeah. Would have had that, could have done that, but I didn't. And I have no penis. So that was pretty lackluster for both of us.
Yeah.
Instead, it just got kind of smelly.
Good.
Fair enough.
All right.
So, yeah. Most of my time over this year was spent on a ship reading, but the previous 7 months I spent hanging out with Coretta and Mercutio. So, not a whole lot going on between them, but Tybalt has. We'll go with matured, but that's not the word I'm looking for at all, and you'll see. So,
Yes. Tybalt has changed, grown,
Chained?
become more
Yeah,
grimdark.
yeah.
What
Remember?
did he chain?
Chain?
Yeah. Oh, chain. Okay.
Just
Got
nice
it.
to see
Yeah.
him with hair.
Yeah. It's a pretty common metaphor. So, anyways,
Yeah, now Tybalt has hair again.
it's true. Yeah.
Full and luscious locks.
I have full and luscious locks, and I have eyebrows again.
My
I've
God.
discarded my bowler cap for the hood that I always had. Yes.
Anyways, after chatting amongst yourselves for a little while, you make your way back into the grand chamber. Natalia tagging along with you, following closely behind Tybalt in the back of the group. You make your way in and all take your seats again. Anton Zerbay is sitting once more upon his throne, and all the other Inquisitors are in quite a heated little discussion amongst themselves. As soon as all of you enter and sit down, Antonius grunts quite loudly and the rest of the room falls to hush once again.
Who does?
Hmm?
Who grunts?
Anton Zerbay?
Oh, I just heard Antonius and was like, what?
Yeah, sorry. Anton Zerbay, Lord Inquisitor.
Got it.
Is there anything that we understood when we came in, like fragments, like when?
Did you want to roll a
Inquisitor-
perception check?
Roll.
Well, what language are they speaking?
Some of them are speaking in High Gothic, most of them are speaking in Low Gothic.
I understand both,
I does too.
I don't.
but you still want me to roll perception? Okay. We can see.
Neil, roll perception with a plus 10, because both you and Neelis perked your ears up to listen.
Okay.
Anybody speaking binary in there?
Just you. Just
Damn
you,
it.
buddy. Good.
Good.
Damn it.
You don't both get to roll. You get to buff his roll. That's what that means.
Oh, I thought you meant both of us roll. Okay,
No.
never mind.
No! One of you get to roll. Grim Darkness for future.
But we're both listening.
I know, but that's the way that it works in the rules. It's
Can
like,
I roll for low gothic too?
nope,
Damn.
Can I roll
you
for
failed to
those apples?
perceive. It's not like you were translating it. That was what the roll was for. You were
Oh,
both
well,
like... And
thought it was
neither of you heard
perception.
shit.
Wouldn't it be an intelligence roll to translate it?
It would, but that wasn't what they were rolling for.
Oh.
Well, that was an intelligence roll, so
Wait, what?
I rolled my
Oh.
skill. I
Well,
didn't actually roll
that was
perception.
pointless. And Danny failed. So, it still comes out the same way. Nobody heard shit.
Brought to
all
you by
sit
Pizza
back
Hut.
down. Anton grunts. Everyone shuts the fuck up.
Someone in the background says noble gases.
Yes. Bill Nye jumps out. Noble gases! And then runs out of the room.
Bill Nye?
How do we know what Bill Nye is?
Somehow I always knew he'd make it.
Good. Anyways, as the room quiets once again, Zerbay looks back over to your group. Is everyone here and accounted for?
Yes, and Natalia is still with us, correct?
Yes.
And we also have one other with us.
Yes. Richard said, while drinking. Because he's so good at drinking. Natalia Corvus, I believe. Correct? She looks up very shocked and nods her head slowly. And, Tybalt, you see her hand move back very gently to rest upon one of her grenades. Which one you can't tell, but you know that that's the pouch that she holds.
Is Tybalt sitting next to her or
You're
behind
sitting
her?
next to her.
Next to her?
Mm-hmm.
Then just gonna casually arm over like, chill the fuck out, bitch.
Don't do that.
We've got a rapport going on. I feel she'll know.
She moves her hand slightly away, but is still quite on edge. So, it is my knowledge that Tybalt and Miss Corvus were both on Reth during the fall. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Mr. Metalis, Tech
Sir.
Priest, what was your job as part of the group of acolytes?
I was merely yet another investigator and record keeper.
Very good. And how did you all come to meet Miss Corvus?
Her boss snuck into my room one evening alongside Neelis, trapped us in there, and threatened us.
He
All in
threatened
all, I'd say it
you.
was a good meeting.
And who was this boss? He says, looking towards Natalia, and she stands up and bows very respectfully, but Tybalt can still tell that she's on edge. Good Inquisitor, it was the Reaper Mercutio Barbosa. Ah, and where is Barbosa? And she looks quickly to Tybalt and then looks back. He and Coretta are headed to Holy Terra to warn them of the coming of Komos. And at the word Komos, a very deafening silence falls across the room. You
Quick
know
question
of...
to you.
Yeah?
After 5 months alone with her on a ship, knowing that our mission prior to being called back was going to Terra/Mars to warn of Komos,
Mm-hmm.
have I been given any information from her on this?
Mm-hmm. What little
So-
she knows, but not a lot.
Okay, but the point is, she isn't like she's not like, you can't know about Komos. It's
I thought
not.
we got rid of Komos with the destroying
No,
of the...
you don't get rid of Komos.
Oh,
You unmanifested it temporarily.
gotcha.
Anyways, yes.
I just wanted to make sure, because if she was like Komos, everyone's like, oh, and Tybalt's like, I still don't know what that is. It's been a year.
No, you know what's up. Everyone else is like, and
Just
then
making
all the
sure.
other Inquisitors in the room know what Komos is, but very few actually know the name of the Tyrant Star.
So there's mostly a hushed whisper amongst the crowd, but the Inquisitors kind of perk up at that.
Mm-hmm. Yes. One of the inquisitors, a darker man wearing a very white robe, gets to his feet, and the Lord Inquisitor looks at him. Yes, Solvan. And he turns to Natalia. How is it that you came to know of the name of the accursed star? And she recounts very briefly that her family, though perceived to be heretics, knew of the star and taught her of it before they were killed for their knowledge. And he sits back down, and the Inquisitor looks a little uneasy. The Lord Inquisitor turns back to the group. Frawl, would you, Neelis, Tybalt, Frawl, would you please recount to us what happened between the death of the Inquisitor and when you arrived here? Also, Tibsy, did you deny being an Inquisitor? Like, did you not want the rank up?
I did not want the rank up.
Okay, good.
I did.
Frawl also declined.
Yeah.
That motherfucker. It's all right.
He was quite shaken and felt... Yeah, anyways, continue.
So you just want me to read my backstory again?
No, I want you to answer the question.
What was the question?
What happened after the death of Carrizo and when you arrived here for the first time, basically, before you were deposed?
Yeah, so I'm reading my backstory for the 1 year.
So you're just going to say that over again? Okay.
Yeah.
Tybalt, is there anything else that would you like to say?
Is he just turning his attention to me, or is he
Yeah, he's
repeating
turning attention to all the group, and...
Well, I meant, like, am I just speaking immediately as Neelis finishes, or is he like, and you, Sir Metalis?
Well, you can either speak before Neela speaks, or whenever.
I was just going to speak after. I
Okay.
wasn't really going to add much. I was just going to actually roleplay.
Do it.
So,
Go.
anyways. After the fall of Wreath and subsequent destruction of the heretical world, I journeyed the Calixis sector, headed to the Lathe Worlds with the Magus Errant, or previous Magus Errant, Coretta Sigma, where I helped delegate her stepping down of position in order to make her journey to Mars and Terra to warn of the coming terror. The last 5 months have been spent getting back to this. It's a council meeting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The last 5 months have been spent with my associate Natalia returning for this council meeting.
Very well. Cleric, there was talk of corruption amongst the ecclesiarchy. Would you care to enlighten us in anything that Neelis may have missed?
Well, yes, Lord Inquisitor. And I stand.
Mm-hmm.
I was a late addition to this excursion on Wrath, and the Inquisitor pulled me from my rank and promoted me, and saw fit that I could be of use for this group. Not only for my prowess in battle.
Ha.
Ha 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 ha.
Everyone
Oh, you
chuckles.
never
We get it.
think.
As well as my connection to the ecclesiarchy, in the hopes that I could exploit some of my ties. Although I was not present for the initial investigation, we did find out that the Cardinal, Bernadim, I believe his name was an associate of the Heretical Inquisitor, who was involved with the late Governor DeCall of the planet, as well as out of character. I don't know what Signwolf's position was.
He was just a cleric.
Priest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a preacher.
Just a preacher. Okay. As well as Signwolf, who was interrogated, was found to be an associate as well. While we were investigating Signwolf, we did find that the mutants that we previously spoke of seemed to be coming from the sewers. We didn't have time to investigate it, so we're not sure to the extent of the usage of the sewer systems. But we suspect that was probably the primary means of them traveling or moving about the abominations.
So you believe that the Ecclesiarchy was facilitating the use of mutants?
My lord, it's hard to say. Between finding out Signwolf, and when we investigated Signwolf, we did discover a hidden passage to the sewers, in his chambers, that he often met in private with his followers. So we were not able to fully investigate it. How far the corruption ran, I cannot say.
Very good. Thank you, cleric.
My lord. Then I sit down.
Tech priest.
Sir?
Imperial Psyker Zek said that he was encased in a machine that fed the energy of the Psykers trapped under Vero. Did you, by any chance, have any time to look over the machine?
I had enough time to get him out.
But you do not recall very much of the machine?
What do you want to know about the machine?
I would
recall
simply
much.
like...
I said I recall much.
Would you happen to be able to... Would you be able to identify it again if you saw it? Or any of the markings on it?
Of course.
Very good. That will be most useful. Did you ever take any, or did you notice anything about the machine itself when you were attempting to get, Zek out? Did you notice
anything such as what?
remarkable about the machine? How was he encased in it, as he cannot recall himself?
I'm not sure how you want me to answer that, just for the record. Seeing as Tybalt would recall, but I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I myself
Well, then
don't.
you tell him that he was encased in liquid, suspended in liquid, within a cylinder, and there were many elect-2 inductors going into his body, which apparently fed energy and psychic power directly into his consciousness.
Okay.
Oh god, what's his name again? Again, Soldvan takes to his feet. Do you think you would be able to reconstruct this machine?
Do I look like some sort of messiah to you? Given many years, I would not be able to reconstruct this machine. Given a team of tech priests, I wouldn't think it possible. I could tell you if you were doing it correctly, or another team built it for me. but I myself lack the technical knowledge and prowess to fully recreate it on my own.
Ah,
Good sir.
and he looks a little disheartened and again takes his seat. The Inquisitor once again stands up. Nihilus, Frawl, would you please approach me once again? And Frawl again jumps to his feet and, well, not jumps, but gets up very quickly and makes his way over.
I'm Ozzy.
You mosey. As you approach him, he says in kind of a duller tone, how is it that Frawl, being trapped in this machine, doesn't have any mark of the psychic power that was conducted through his body?
He was removed and replaced with another.
With who? Or whom?
With Mercutio.
Mercutio Barbosa is a psyker.
The answer to that is yes.
Yes.
Good.
I couldn't remember.
And, Zek, do you remember anything before or after the machine that would be of any interest to us? And Zek recalls being awakened in the machine, and when all the psychic energy entered him, how he jumped out of his own body and found himself inside Lehman Person as almost a reactionary measure. He was not consciously aware of what had happened. After telling this, the Inquisitor looks slightly troubled and then turns back to the Conclave. Well then, it seems we have no choice but to attempt to track down Mercutio Barbosa in order to hear the rest of the story. I have also asked the new Inquisitor Nihilus, as well as his team, to assist you all in the search for any other heresies committed by Antonius, and to find out anything else about the Tyrant Star, Komos, that might be of any use. And he looks as though he's about to sit down, so both you and Frawl bow to him and start heading back to your seats. And as you turn and step away, he asks, Frawl, would you remain up here for a moment? And Frawl nods and stands there again. Nihilus, you go back and take your seat. And Antonius asks him, how long were you on Terra before being sanctioned as a psyker? And Frawl notes that he was only there for maybe a month or two before he was called back, but that he was fully sanctioned and he's ready to carry on the God Emperor's work and bring to light that which Antonius has darkened. As he says this, you see a muscle flinch on the Lord Inquisitor in his cheek, and he very rapidly grabs the sword from his side and stabs it into Frawl's stomach. Frawl falls to the floor, and Antonius sits looking at the group. So reactions?
I draw my carbine and fire.
What the fuck are we supposed to do?
I draw
Why
my
is
carbine
he
and fire.
Still alive.
Why is who still alive?
Unless you said that incorrectly, you said Antonius.
Yeah.
Oh, Anton. I hate that
Okay.
their names are so fucking similar.
Okay, I was like,
Anton Serbay
whoa.
pulls his sword
Whoa.
and stabs it into Frawl's stomach. I apologize. My mistake.
that
Their names
changes
are
a
too
lot.
similar.
That
I
changes
should've-
a
yeah.
lot.
Okay. Antonius, stab!
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I was like, what?
It's probably gonna take me like 2 or 3 to get over that. I should have like looked ahead and been like, I'm gonna name you fucking Bartholomew
Like,
Cariza.
2 things went through my head. I was like, 1, Mercutio, you lying bitch.
Anyways, yes. The Lord Inquisitor removes the sword from his side, stabs it into Fralzak's stomach, and looks at the group as Frawl falls off of the blade and lands at his feet.
I quickly stand up, very, very surprised and shocked. My lord.
My gun is drawn and trained at his face. Just not joking here.
Stubber, what are you gonna do?
Rush to Frawl, I guess.
So you're gonna get up as well and start moving towards him?
Yep.
Okay.
Get him up.
Get up.
Can.
As soon as Tybalt and Stubber get to their feet and as Nihilus is rising, because they have lower agility, so obviously they would get up faster.
Yeah. Tybalt is the fastest person on this team.
Animal.
Gonna kill you!
Oh, I have to change my age.
Yep,
Only
okay.
Doc Holliday.
Anyways, as you
Fastest
all
hands in the West.
leap to your feet and Tybalt reaches for his carbine, Natalia's hand grabs his wrist, and many of the other Inquisitors sitting around the table all hop up and ready their weapons, aiming it at the party. The Inquisitor sits back down in his chair.
Explain yourself, you bastard.
What is the meaning of this?
You want to die today, don't you, Tybalt?
Tybalt's not fucking around.
Explain
Don't
yourself,
feel
you bastard. Alright, shoot that one.
People know tech priests aren't exactly people friendly.
Yeah, but they don't go around calling people bastards and being emotionally invested.
It's true. They do go around calling people bastards, but
Yeah, but not emotionally.
not emotionally.
You're just like,
That wasn't emotionally.
you're a dick.
I was upset.
Anyways, he turns to Nihilus. Frawl will not... your friend is not dead, but I do not trust the taint of the warp that I still feel on him. He will be taken into custody and remain here with me, where I can closely supervise him. Do you have a problem with this?
He was on my team, and I was with him every step of the way. There's no way he could be tainted.
Surely your highness could have merely asked, and he would have remained.
What?
He said he's gonna stay with you and you're gonna watch him.
Yeah.
Tybalt's being a dick.
He's saying, why didn't you
He's
ask?
saying you could have just asked, you didn't need to stab him. And he's being facetious when he calls him your highness. Need I explain more?
Okay. Okay.
Do I have to talk down to the GM and this character? Because I feel like neither of those are gonna go well.
Very well. As you do so, because this is going to go so great for all of you,
I'm excited.
Tybalt's always excited.
Shit.
so yes, as Tybalt says that, a crushing blow lands down on the back of his left leg, bringing him to his knees.
Whee!
You feel the sinews of the muscles stretch almost to the point of snapping the bone in your left shin, as one of the hooded guards in the room take you down for daring to speak up against the Lord Inquisitor. Reactions from everybody else, because we're getting closer and closer to combat.
Hey, there's supposed to be no combat today.
There was! Yeah, there wasn't.
Okay. My lord, I believe. Let's try that again. My lord,
His throat.
Thrall is a sanctioned psyker now. He's proven his faith to the God Emperor. Do you still not trust him?
That is not your call to make, cleric. If I didn't trust him, he would not be alive. I would have killed him for the potential the heresy that he committed. However, as a favor to our new Inquisitor, and because I believe he can be a valuable asset, I have decided to keep him alive as a, or for investigation, and, Van Voigen and Sylvadan will be looking after him to ensure that there was no taint from your previous boss, and, I will be keeping him here for the time being.
Well, I can assure you that Fralzek has no taint about him.
And he sits back down.
Tybalt's still kind of clutching his shin.
Tybalt
Not
is,
like he got hit in the shin, but he's not.
Tybalt
gonna
is still
break.
very hurt.
Yeah.
That stings.
He's glaring at him, but he's not saying anything. Didn't work out so well the last 2 times.
Out of character, I don't understand. A few minutes ago, he said that how come he didn't show any sign of having the more or less the essence of 1,000 psychers pumped into him,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden he's like, he's still tainted. Whack.
Yep.
Because a dick.
He's a dick. I was reading his story. He's an asshole.
He's a bit of an asshole. Also, there's a difference between what he confides in you and what he confides in front of all of the other people that you're supposed to be investigating.
Right.
Sorry, where are you looking at this guy's story?
On the
In
book.
in the book.
Yeah.
Core
Oh,
rulebook.
in the core rulebook.
Mm-hmm. Page
Oh.
320.
He's a
or something.
complete hard ass too.
Yep.
Got it.
Don't take no shit from nobody.
Especially not some fucking lowly tech priest.
I didn't think he was gonna take shit from me.
Anyways.
Doesn't mean I'm not gonna give it to him though.
Fucking that one's a heretic.
Please, I survived 1 psyker and a guy with a bolt pistol. I think I can take you.
Good.
Bitch.
So is there anything else that you would like to say in this juncture? As the guards, 2 of the guards from the shadows move to pick up Thrall's body and remove him from the room.
I just stay standing, staring at Thrall's body.
Stubbsy.
My lord, I would like to make a request that I be present while he received medical attention.
Very well, until your duties commence. You may go with them and ensure that his well-being is taken care of.
Thank you, my lord. And I follow them.
Okay. Tybalt, you have been disarmed, and the guard takes his foot off of the back of your leg. As you get up, you see that Coretta's hand, or not Coretta, Derp, Natalia's hand is on her sword, but it is not drawn. Nearly ready, or merely ready. On the off chance that you guys decided to keep going. Anyways, Anton again turns to the room. Now then, if that is all, you may all talk to the Reth group. And he gestures to you. And please give them as much help as you can in these trying times. And he sits back down on his throne and a dull roar kind of starts up as the Inquisitors, talk amongst themselves.
Welp.
Oh, we're doing something I was reading.
Done?
Yeah, I'm gonna minimize that.
Well, I'm still kind of in shock, so...
Thought you were a hard
My
ass.
leg still hurts, so.
I am a
stubbed my
hard
toe
ass, but
really hard.
Frawl was my bro, and he just got stabbed by my boss, and it's kind of just like, friendship, life.
So I guess we'll jump to Stubber for a while you guys figure out what you're gonna do.
I honestly don't know what you told us. I was reading.
Good. Anyways, Stubber, you follow the guards, walking a few paces behind them as they drag Frawl's body through the barracks to a small medical wing, or small medical facility within the Bastion. And you see him put under a local anesthetic for the wound, and they attach many electroconductors and start monitoring his vitals and such. And for the next few hours, you observe as they stabilize him and then put him in a small medically induced coma while his wounds heal.
Can I make a perception check to see if I can see anything dirty going on?
Yeah, you can make a perception check.
Could.
Everything looks pretty above board. The doctors seem a bit nonchalant about what's going on, as though this isn't the first time that Zerbe has just stabbed a motherfucker in here and then had him brought in to be kept alive. You can tell that the medical wing this medical facility gets a lot of use, and the accoutrements on the wall, though most are for specifically medical things, there are some devices used for interrogation as well, which concerns you, but since none of the doctors are grabbing them or anything, you pay no real attention, as this is a facility where something like that would happen anyways. Anyways, let's go back. Neelis, Tybalt, it's been now about a minute. The Inquisitors are still talking amongst themselves, occasionally looking over at you and then discussing stuff. A few of them have gotten up and just left the room. There are 4 Inquisitors still remaining, and a few of the other clerical, administratum kind of people shoveling papers about and doing that kind of business.
I'm gonna go up to the Lord Inquisitor, Anton, and I'm going to step in front of his chair, salute him. My lord, what taint did you see about Frawl that made you act out like that?
He gets up from his chair and motions for you to follow him into his quarters again.
I follow.
Tibbsy, you just gonna chill out there?
Hastily behind.
Am I allowed to follow?
You could try.
I'm going to try and follow them.
Natalia remains where she is, and everybody, all the rest of the group, kind of stay where they are as well. Natalia watches as you depart. The Inquisitor notices you coming and looks at you sternly, but doesn't seem to disagree with your presence.
Okay.
Eventually, the 3 of you enter his chambers. I simply wanted to... there was no taint upon your friend, but I had to know whether or not, or I had to try and elicit a reaction from either you or any of the Cabal in light of this. Because if Frolzek was in fact the keystone for Antonius's plans, then if anyone still had plans to use him, they would be as in shock as I'm sure you were of my quite sudden action.
I see, so you're trying to weed out anything that you can early.
Yes. I'm sorry it was so rash. I'm sure it was quite a shock to all of you. Your bonds of friendship seem to go quite deep.
Yes, we experienced a lot together on Wrath.
Please be assured I will do everything I can to make sure that he survives and recovers as hastily as possible.
Thank you, my lord. Are these chambers monitored in any way?
Only by myself.
When you attacked Frawl, did you happen to see anyone react? Or possibly get up and immediately leave?
The only one that I saw, or the people that I saw react around the table was the Witchfinder Rikus. Though most of me thinks that was just him being zealous as well. For who knows what he thinks of all of this.
So, bearing in mind that most of Tybalt's attention was kind of on Zerbe and Frawl and all that,
Yeah.
was there anything he might have noticed that...
Tybalt?
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay.
None of you rolled a perception check.
Aha!
You guys didn't notice shit.
Are we just supposed to say I roll a perception check like every 5 minutes, just in case we need to come back to it?
No, but if there's ever like a moment, see, I'm trying to teach you guys, you know.
I'd like to roll a dodge check.
If like something incredible happens that it was unexpected, you can be like, I'd like to roll a perception check before we start doing anything else, just to see what everyone all is doing.
Got it. Well, while we're in his office, can I just do a quick scan? It's nothing like, while he's talking, I'm going to rummage through his papers, because I'd like to figure something out right now. Just like a...
You're just going to basically look around the office and take note of everything.
Like, just a quick, like, something...
Yeah.
Someone who... I mean, this is the guy... It's his personal office, right?
One of them.
One of them?
Mm.
Yeah, so
It's
just
probably
kind of
not
like,
his main office, but yes, it's his office.
But just, you know, how tidy he is, how he keeps himself, anything that might be on the walls that would give Tybalt more information.
So you'd like me to describe it?
Yeah, just a rough description of his room, anything that would give Tybalt an idea about him.
The room is a very minimalistic, I guess, kind of a room. There is a mahogany-looking desk, plascrete for the walls and floor and ceiling, glowlums only where they are necessary. There are many arcane books, some bound by what appears to be flesh bindings, others by leather or paper.
Or...
You can't discern that at the moment.
Okay.
But they are very fleshy. There are many, well, not many, but there are quite a few servo skulls flying around. A few data sheets on his desk, but everything is very well organized and precise. There are also a lot of motifs of the Inquisition and the skull of the Emperor, and all of those kind of
so indications of a man who takes his job seriously and would not take such a lighthearted action, or not lighthearted, but such a rash action as stabbing someone without good reasoning behind it.
Yes, without cause.
So, upon noticing this, Tybalt kind of eases up, because even hearing his explanation, Tybalt was still kind of like, you still stabbed him, but granted he hasn't forgiven him for that, but he's eased up on his position for it, so.
But yes, so yeah, the Witchfinder Rikus. Astrid, how's that? Skane, I think is how it's pronounced.
That's what I'd go with.
Inquisitor Skane also moved her arm very quickly as though to ready her weapon. And Soldvan also seemed to react to it, though not as dramatically as the other two. The other Inquisitors didn't seem to act till your tech priest readied his weapon. Or went to ready his weapon.
Well, I'll see if we can get any more damning details on anybody. It would also be nice to know if any of the people who reacted left soon after. And possibly pull some NSA shit and listen to their phone calls.
No one who reacted that I noticed has left the room yet.
Fair enough.
So yes, I've gathered you all here to investigate them. You may have other missions and duties now that you are an Inquisitor of the Tyrantine Cabal. But your primary duty is to find anything, find any heretics within our rank and file.
And shall I be reporting to you?
Yes,
And
you will.
you alone?
For those, you will report to me directly. I may assign you temporarily under other Inquisitors, or to work with other Inquisitors on missions, and you will report to them. But of any findings of heretical nature, you will report directly to me and me alone.
Will do, my lord. Do you have any information on where we should start?
That is entirely up to your discretion. I have no knowledge of anyone who was particularly close to Antonius.
Could you give me access to Antonius's files?
Yes, of course. I will have them uploaded to a data slate and sent to your quarters.
Is there anything that is on Antonius that has been classified?
Not for your party.
So
But-
I have full access to any information that I could need on him.
Yes, but you must know that as part of the Hereticus, a lot of his actions were done in secret. So, they are not perfect records by any means, but they are all we have on him, and they are all at your disposal.
Well, some is better than none, and I'm sure they will help.
Very good.
Well, thank you for explaining yourself, my lord.
Yes. Is there anything
How
else?
soon?
What?
How soon may we access his files?
As soon as I have them uploaded to a very secure data slate, I will send them to Neelis's quarters, and you will be able to access them immediately from then.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, my lord, and I will keep you updated on the happenings of our investigation.
Very good. And he sits down at his desk and starts tapping on a data slate and motioning to the servo skull to come close so he can interact with it. As the conversation seems to have ended. My lord. Well, yes, Tybalt.
Huh? I don't know. They're all just clearing their throats.
Oh.
Anyways, Stubbsy, what are you up to?
Would I even be able to leave this chamber?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're in the medical facility, right?
Yeah.
You can leave.
Do we still have our Voxcons, or?
Yes, you have a Vox communicator.
Um, I guess, I'd like to find I don't know, a guard of some sort that would lead me back to the main hall.
All right. You leave the or you ask one of the guards, still posted to guard Frall's body, how directions back to the main hall that you came from, and he describes them for you, and I suppose you follow them and go back.
Okay. Then I'll just wait for them to
Yeah.
reappear.
Tybalt and Neelis, you both turn to leave, and as you do, Anton speaks up to Neelis. Neelis, you, the back pay for you and all of your,
Oh, fucking paper. Thank God.
you and your acolytes have been donated into, or have been moved into your accounts.
Oh, thank you, my lord.
And I hope that you do well with this stipend. And goes back to going through his data sheets.
As do I.
So yeah, you all have a year of pay now. Congratulations.
A year? Oh,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
1 year of back pay.
Ooh, did you just add the character sheet thing on here?
Last Sunday. So, is there anything that you guys would like to do?
Fucking
left his
rich.
office?
Damn.
Off the top
No.
of my head.
I'm gonna leave his office. Unless
Yeah, I know. You've already...
Tybalt says something. Oh, we've already left the office?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything I really need from him anymore. He's given me full access to all of Antonius's
Well, he's given
doings.
Neelis full access.
Yeah. And Neelis is going to hand that shit over to me, so... I only need to see it once.
That is true. Total recall.
But,
But yeah, for the moment, not a whole lot to do. So, I mean, I guess we mosey.
Okay.
Is there just like hanging out behind the throne or something?
No, they've all come back to where the rest of the group was sitting in the Great Hall, where Stubber also made his way to.
Okay.
The rest of the Inquisitors around the table that are still remaining are all still engaged in a very heated conversation about what just happened.
I'm gonna mosey over to Natalia
Okay.
and sit next to her.
Okay.
Natalia, how have you been?
I've been well, Neelis. How have you been?
I have been quite well. How has Mercutio been doing?
He's doing better now.
Do we know of his whereabouts?
He is on Lady Coretta's ship heading towards the holy planet Mars.
Is there any way that I can get in contact with him?
Yes, I believe I remember the astropath's name.
Well, at your next availability, I would like to speak to him once again.
She writes down the name of the astropath and slides the paper over to you. She's like, you can send him a message this way, and he will. Well, Lady Coretta will get it, and I'm sure forward it to him when you would like him to get it.
Oh, thank you, Natalia.
Is there anything else you want?
What have you been doing for the past year?
Same story that Tybalt gave you, except
Okay.
hanging out with Mercutio more. I was watching over my lord's recovery and trying to keep him under control.
Under control?
Yes, the amount of energy that went into his mind seemed to have rattled him quite a bit, and it was quite dangerous the first few months, but he seems to be more under control now.
Well, that is good to hear.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Natalia, and it's good to see you again.
Yes, it's nice to see you too, Neelis. She kind of pats you on the back awkwardly.
She's so awkward, it's great.
Okay, I have something to ask her. Natalia, given your training, your eyes probably saw more than mine ever can or could. Did you notice anything unusual about the room when the Lord Inquisitor stabbed Frawl?
Yes, quite. Well, it seemed everyone was very shaken by that, but none more so than that one. And she points over to a very old man carrying a sword, a lot of his body replaced with mechanical implants, and his old tattered robes barely cloaking him very well. Neelis, you look over and note that this is the demon hunter Amazi. Everyone else seemed to move and react, but he seemed unnaturally calm about everything. And in my line of work, that tends to denote some foul play.
As normally you would suspect that everyone react, his reaction was that he didn't react. A keen sense, definitely, that you have there.
Yes, it has been honed for many years. But beyond that, it appears that everyone except for and she points to the witch hunter. He was almost happy about what had happened. Beyond that, everyone else reacted somewhat normally, I would say.
As I would expect the witch hunter to do. Thank you for your insight in this situation.
Of course.
Are the other Inquisitors still in the room, still kind of having a heated discussion, or?
Mm-hmm.
Can I see if I can hear anything?
Yeah? Roll a perception check.
Yep.
Or you can just walk up to him and be like, "Sup, bitches?" Except
God.
not quite like that.
I'm glad we're not doing combat.
Right.
So yes, you can't make out the murmurs one from another, as all the voices seem to be blending together in this very echoey hall.
Mm.
It's very obvious that it is more made for public speaking and civil debate than the very rushed commentary going on in the middle of the room.
May I try to hear any specific conversations?
If you want to, yeah.
Possibly from... How close is the demon hunter to me?
Amazi?
Yeah.
They're all about maybe 10 meters away. They're not
Okay,
that
can
far.
I try and hear... Is he speaking to anybody?
He doesn't seem to be speaking as much as the rest of them, but he occasionally pipes up and joins the conversation.
Can I try and listen to his conversation?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, perception... Because I also have heightened senses hearing,
I know.
so... Do
It's
I
a
get...
plus 10.
Okay. Success!
Huzzah! You note that Amazi is only responding or kind of chiming in whenever someone else says, more so to nudge the conversation than to lead it. Some people are, well, I should be more specific, hold on. Rikus seems to be leaning on the side that they should have killed Frawl and done away with the rest of you, and that the Conclave doesn't need any more Inquisitors or any special help from those that would be used by heretics. And Amazi seems to be agreeing with him more so than not. Astrid, Skane, seems to be on the other side, opposing that viewpoint, saying that they could use the help, and that what was done to Frawl was a bit harsh, seeing as if he was really that big of a threat, they should have eliminated him as soon as he showed up, not after time when he could have infected them. And questioning why the Lord Inquisitor waited so long. And very occasionally Amazi will agree with one of her points, but yeah, for the most part he's just basically nudging the conversation and not so much leading it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Skane because it sounds like Zane and it makes me think of Garble. Astrid
Garble
Skane.
Zane.
So is there anything else that you guys would like to do?
I'm
Neelis?
gonna turn down a beer from
Yeah, what's Garble doing right now?
I would imagine he's probably passed out.
Garvel's just kind of sitting in his chair looking up and taking a swig every once in a while. He's got a lit low stick in his mouth. He's just kind of taking it all in, you know?
as opposed to having an unlit glow stick in his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
He just likes it being there.
Suppose that tells you how drunk he is.
Oral fixations.
That. I guess the next thing to do would be to go find Van
Van
Voygen.
Vuogen?
Yeah. So, unless you guys have something better to think of, I think go visiting him.
Nope. I honestly don't even know what we're doing. I got here like an hour ago after 5 months on our ship. And you guys are like, hey, what's going on? And then Frog got stabbed. So
Overall,
let's
that's
let
a
you
good
guys
day.
leave for a couple minutes.
Normal day in Dark Heresy.
Yeah. Normal day in Dark Heresy, but kind of an odd day for me.
Anyways, Neelis, I'd like to remind you one more time that you don't have to listen from afar. You are an Inquisitor, and there are no Inquisitors over other Inquisitors, save for the Lord Inquisitor. So you have every right to jump into these kind of conversations as well. Though you don't have seniority, you still have a right to be there.
Tybalt would have walked over to listen, but he's kind of the guy who pulled a gun on the Lord Inquisitor, or attempted to, and I feel as though that might halt any conversations they might be having.
Depends on whether or not they would applaud you for your actions.
It's true.
Some might want to see him dead.
It's very true.
Tybalt draws his gun. Tybalt draws his bolt pistol and fires wildly, wasting
Like $40 worth of ammunition.
$40. You're right.
Wait, you didn't empty like 6 clips?
If I emptied 6 clips, that's a lot
Yeah.
more than $40.
Like a couple
That's
hundred.
like my yearly salary. I can use this backlog to buy like 10 shots.
Bolt weapons.
There's a reason my bolt pistol's not going to be making much of an appearance anymore.
So yes. What do you guys want to do? Now that we have an hour left. Oh, now that you guys have 40 minutes left.
Oh, until we take break? Okay.
No, that's it, because Danny's leaving at 10.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
I've-
this is mostly
Hey,
just
yeah.
to introduce the main cast and get you guys all up to speed and stab for all.
I have to wake up at 6 in the a.m.s.
Don't care. Anyways, what do you guys want to do?
Like I said, unless you guys have a better idea, I'd like to go
Like,
visit.
well, what did I miss? Because you guys were going for what, 20 minutes, 30 minutes before I showed up?
Not much.
Not
they just
much. Pretty
Showed
much
up and
just...
described what happened on Reef, basically.
Okay.
Well, and just prior before that, just everybody met at the docks, and me and Danny gave her backstories.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't meet at a bar?
Nope.
You're slipping, Richard.
Although...
Garvel brought the bar with
well,
him.
Yeah,
Mhm.
brought the party with him. See, family with.
Yeah, so, in a strange turn of events, I follow Stubber.
Okay.
Alright, Neelis, what are you doing?
Unless Neelis has those documents for me, in which case, all over that. Right in the ass.
Hey, please.
I'm gonna go over to the group that Rickus and Astrid are talking in.
Okay. So the main group of Inquisitors.
Yeah.
Alright, then we will do yours second, and we will do Tibsy and Stubber first.
Yay!
Alright.
Tibsy, Stubbsy.
Yeah, so I'll obviously try to find a guard.
Mm-hmm.
And,
You approach one of the guards in the room. Yes, cleric, what can I do for you?
yes, I would... During our meeting, Van Voigen requested that I bring him a trinket of mine that I had on our travels on Reth. And I need to find his chambers and deliver it to him.
Ah, well, if he is in his chambers, then he is just down the hall, to the left, up 4 flights of stairs. You take the elevator 60 flights down, then you take your first right, and you go 14.5 kilometers, and then he describes where to go. It's not quite that complicated.
Severely hope not. I'm not gonna write any of that down.
Tybalt total recalls it.
So,
Tybalt
Boy,
finds his
anyway,
way. Stubber not so much.
I think the guard and be on our way.
Yeah, and then you guys leave and make your way to Van Voigen's chambers. As you approach, you notice that his chambers are kind of down within the bastion. Quite a bit lower, a few levels lower than where you were before. Here, the rockcrete is cracked, and there's occasional beads of liquid seeping through from either broken plumbing or perhaps even moisture consolidating on the walls outside. The doors leading to rooms seem to be getting more and more sparse as you approach where Voigan's room is. Eventually, there is only a solid wall for quite a long distance before you find the door to Van Voigan's room. From outside the door, you can hear quite a very loud and audible hum of many machines all working at once. There is an odd odor around and the sound of steam escaping.
I let him match.
Okay. Is there like some sort of ringing mechanism for his chambers?
Yes, you find a what appears to be an intercom kind of link outside of the door, and depress it.
Van Voigan, this is Cleric Stubber. I've come on your behest.
Stubber. Who are you again?
I am part of the party that was on Reth. I've brought the
Oh yes, you were bringing me your crossbow.
yes.
Ah, excellent. Please come in, and the door. You can hear it unlatch, and you push it open. As you enter, you see a very colossal laboratory set out in front of you. Many vials flung on centrifugal machines, beakers and flasks filled with various liquids and fluids. Many experiments all going on at once in this very desolate room, but currently he is looking over the chrono that Neelis gave him. Servo skulls floating around him running their own tests and analysis of it. As you approach, he turns to you. Where is the crossbow?
I reach for my backpack. I have it in my pouch. Let me grab it out for you.
And you pull it out and offer it to him, and he takes it and thank you, and puts it on the desk next to him. As soon as I am done with Neelis's chrono, I will get to it immediately and have it back to you as fast as I can. Provided there is no lingering demonic taint, of course.
Of course. If you need to, it is not a possession I no longer need. So if the tests do end up destroying the crossbow, by all means, do run them.
All right. Very well. Then I will run a much deeper spectrum analysis.
Of course.
Tell me, Stubber, was it? Did you or your friend here ever see anything alien on the planet while you were there?
Of Xeno, you mean?
Yes. Was it just demons, or did you come across any alien life that you didn't?
As far as my old eyes could see, we only came across mutants, and we did have a run-in with some demons.
And he looks a little disheartened.
As far as I can recall, I came across no alien artifacts or remnants. However, you seem a knowledgeable man. I have a question for you. Tybalt reaches into his sack and pulls out the trinket that Antonius gave to him. I realize that your study lies with Xenos, and I have been told that this is demonic in nature. But perchance, have you ever seen anything such as this? And I hold it out to him.
And he immediately he looks at it and plucks it out of your hand very quickly, and begins fiddling with it with his fingers, very deftly. This looks almost as though it's an Eldari amulet or an Eldar amulet. Where did you find this?
It was not so much a matter of find as much as a matter of being given.
Oh, someone gave this? Who gave this to you?
One Antonius Caruso. Or Carrizo.
Carrizo. Ah, well. Would you mind if I ran tests on this?
By all means. Though, unlike the crossbow, I too am curious about this. I would prefer to receive it back intact.
Yes, of course. I would never do anything to harm such a rare and exquisite artifact such as this.
Inquisitor, you seem to know what this trinket is. Could you describe it for us?
This appears to be a trinket of the Eldar people, but the coloring and the jaggedness of it would imply a more dark and demonic presence within it, though I'm not sure if demonic is quite the right word to describe it. It doesn't match anything that I've seen the demons do. Depending on what this unlocks, it could be anything from simple coordinates to an Eldar Forge world to was it a Forge world? Oh, whatever. An Eldar home world, or perhaps navigation to a webway of some sort. I'll have to run an analysis and see if we can open it without harming it to find the secrets it unlocks.
I've managed to activate it only once, be it partially or wholly, but it was not something I was able to recreate, but it appears to create its own heat source, or appeared to have.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. Could you show me what you did to accomplish that the first time?
I show him what I recall doing,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
unless you'd like to surprise me, it does not recreate the effects.
Yeah, no. Ah, thank you. That's at least somewhere to help me begin from.
Van Voigen, has your preliminary diagnostics of the Chronos shown you anything of interest?
So far, the only thing of note is that it seems to be circulating a higher magnetic field around it. I haven't done any deep diagnostics of it yet. I wanted to make sure it wasn't booby-trapped or anything dangerous. But so far, that is the only anomaly I've found.
That's for the crossbow, right?
No, that was for
No, that was
Neelis's
for the
watch.
Oh, for watch. Got it.
Yeah. Looking about his room, would you say it's almost more like he's a chemist almost?
Looking around his room, you see many volumes, a very gigantic library to one side of it, and then a laboratory of, yes, a large amount of chemicals, and also, but there are also a lot of mechanical instruments being used that don't appear to be used necessarily for chemistry. He seems to mostly just be interested in the sciences in general, but yes, a lot of his stuff is very chemical based.
Interesting. Let's see. Van Voigen, I have a question. Could you describe Antonio Carrizo's kind of nature towards the other Inquisitors while he was on the present here on the chess?
I only ever met Carrizo one time, as he was not deeply involved with the Cabal, as far as I was aware. He seemed to be a bit aloof and kind of distant towards me. As far as his interactions with the other Inquisitors, I don't recall him ever talking to anyone else in my presence.
And then a little bit about yourself. Would you say that you're one of the Lord Inquisitor's chief advisors when it comes to things of scientific inquiry and things of that nature?
As when it comes to anything Xenos or biochemistry, yes, I am one of the foremost experts of my field. If it comes to psychic phenomena or more mechanically natured things, Solvdan is the scientist you should see. Or the researcher you should see. I, being of the Ordo Xenos, generally place the biological a bit higher in my priorities than those of the Hereticus.
Okay. I don't have anything else for him. You got anything for him, Tibby? Or Tipsy?
Dre.
I don't really think so.
Alright.
Tipsy's tipsy.
Okay.
We already checked around his room. We saw the chemistry-related stuff. We saw, or rather, like a Libra. But there's nothing else really of note in there.
Okay. Well, Van Voigen, I guess I don't know where I'm staying. It won't work this time.
You're gonna be like, hey baby, come back to my room.
I was gonna be like, if you could, I'd like the results on a datapad delivered in my room, but I don't know where that is.
You can have them sent to Neelis's quarters.
That's true. We'll do that then. Van Voigen, thank you for your time. When you do find some results, I would love it if you could forward them on a datapad to Nihilus's chambers, so that we may review them as well.
Yes, of course. Tech Priest, may I have your Vox number so I may contact you about your trinket here?
Of course.
And you exchange Vox information. And he turns around and goes back to tinkering with the chrono.
Yeah, and then otherwise,
You guys leave the room?
yeah.
Okay.
And then I guess we'll Vox Nihilus real quick. Nihilus, well, actually, I guess, should we transition back to him?
Yeah, we'll roleplay him and then we can do
Okay.
that. Nilly, you go over to the all the Inquisitors hanging out and jump into the conversation at hand. Currently, what's her name? Astrid is discussing the merits of bringing the entirety of the Reth group on onto the bastion to go over information that seems so trivial that those of the Cabal already knew most of this. And she turns to you. Was there any other reason that the Inquisitor brought all of you together?
We were the team that fought on Wrath, and we worked well together.
Very well. Will you be staying with us long, or do you have other plans, Inquisitor?
I should be here for some time just to see what comes of the artifacts that we gave to what's his face?
Van Viogen?
Yeah, Van Voigen.
Wagon.
Yeah.
Van Voigen?
At this, a very regally dressed lady speaks up. I think those artifacts should all be destroyed. They took place during a heresy there.
Yeah, but we could get valuable information off of them.
The witch hunter speaks up. Yes, but there's little information we could get out of those that would be of any consequence to us now. We knew that there was a demonic incursion on the planet. We know that it's been stopped, and we know that there was heavy psyker presence. I don't know what else we would be able to get out of a simple analysis of paltry weapons and a watch.
The watch that came from possibly the leader of this entire operation? It's worth a shot.
Yes, I suppose. Had you worked with Antonius very much before? You were his acolyte for a while, I believe, weren't you? You had one mission with him.
I had one mission with him.
Ah, very, very interesting. Did he, and, this is now the lady again. Did he act any, differently towards you during those two missions? Did his demeanor change at all?
No, he was always Antonius Carrizo to me. He was never anything different.
Well, I suppose that, that makes the chance of him being controlled pretty minimal. And she sits back down, and the witch hunter gets up and says, but no, maybe the psyker was a very clever psyker and was very subtle in his work, only influencing him through suggestion. And
yes, some of it doesn't exactly add up to me, but that's what we're here to figure out.
And then Astrid again looks to you. Well, if I can be of any help, please don't be afraid to ask.
I won't, and thank you for your offer.
And Rikus looks at you again and how long did you know your psyker for?
How long in game time did we?
No Frawl?
Yeah.
We know for about like 3 weeks before he was kidnapped.
Mm-hmm.
Because we knew him because we were on Wreath for a month, right?
Yeah. So you knew him for like a little
And
bit less than 4 weeks, but you've known him for over a year now.
Yeah. I've known Frawl for a little over a year now.
Did you meet him on Wreath, or had you known him beforehand?
I had known him before.
What sort of personality does he have? Did he ever seem different from when you knew him to when he was on Wreath?
No, Frawl has always been the same, and as he is now, he is doing very well on his recovery.
And he just kind of sits back down a little disheartened looking.
I don't think any member of my team would ever be a part of something like that.
And, God, their names. Eventually I'm going to learn their names, but in the beginning it's going to be so annoying with me scrolling back and forth.
Rikus is the only one who I can remember.
Yes, I remember Rikus and Astrid, and Van Voygen, because his name's so fun.
Astrid is
Soldvan
the-
and Amazi.
Mm-hmm.
Astrid is the Xeno? No, she's...
Hereticus.
Everyone's fucking Hereticus. The
Most of them
only
are
person-
Hereticus except for Amazi, who's Malus.
Amazi's the only Malus.
He is the only Malus. And
I
then
know.
there's three
There's-
Xenos. But you
yeah.
haven't met anyone except for Van Voygen.
Yeah.
Yes. The refined looking lady once again says, you may not believe that they were, or that they could be heretics, but it was that blindness that led to the destruction of the planet Reth.
I believe it was the Heresy that led to the destruction of Reth.
You're not there.
Well, how was I supposed to know Antonius was behind it?
Maybe if you did your fucking job. Oh, I was there too.
I was also there. I also
I
didn't.
trusted my Inquisitor in letting me know exactly what and where I needed to be, and he assisted us whenever he could, too. Which, why something inside of me is telling me it doesn't exactly add up, and it's possible that he did not act alone.
And at this, Amazi, the demon hunter, speaks up. Haven't learned your lesson yet, have you?
And what lesson would that be?
You're too trusting, boy.
It's fucking Scottish.
I'm gonna have to start giving these people character, otherwise I'm just gonna not...
It's gonna be
It's
Richard.
more fun. It's more fun to just give them other characters, alright?
It's Richard.
I'm not denying
Yes,
that.
he's Scottish. He's space Scottish.
Okay, good. I only asked because all of your characters are Richard.
Yeah.
So
Except
to
for him.
suddenly not be Richard.
I'll probably...
I love that the accent would persist all these years.
Yeah.
In the grim
no.
darkness of the far Scottish.
I'm pretty sure that's the Chinese accent now. It's just morphed over the many thousands of millennium.
Yeah.
And by thousands, I mean 40.
Ish.
40-ish, yeah. More like 38
38
from
and a
now.
half.
It's been like 7 years, okay?
Okay. Anyways,
Well-
Neelis.
Yes, it does seem I put a little too much trust in my Inquisitor, and I was blindsided by it, but still, I was not expecting him to be the one behind it.
And then Astrid turns to you. But you've learned to, but you learned that you can't trust everyone now, haven't you?
What
Fortunately,
a suspicious thing to ask, Astrid.
unfortunately, I wish that all of us within the Inquisition could trust each other
And,
under the power of the God Emperor.
yes. At this, the refined lady, chuckles quite loudly. Almost mockingly, one would say.
Are you gonna do the laugh? Hand over mouth.
The bitch has guns. We should go steal them.
And why do you find that funny?
Oh, you'll find out.
Will I
Okay,
now?
Get her.
Will I now?
She's not gonna reply to that.
She's a bitch.
She's literally just gonna pull out a scone and eat it right in front of you.
And then Garvel comes up right behind her, just.
No, Frawl was the one who loved scones.
Oh, really?
Frawl, psychically from the bed of the medical facility.
The scone just goes.
The scone kind of shakes in her hand, and then the witch hunter just bolts. Anyways, yes, she doesn't respond to you, and just kind of looks down at her her hand as to check her nails.
It is unfortunate that we can't all work together under the God Emperor to weed out the heretics within this galaxy?
Sure, universe, whatever.
Universe, yeah, okay.
City.
And to that, Rikus pipes in, yes, these games of politics are so tiring. And Astrid kind of scoffs at him. Scoff.
I just hope that one day we can all help each other out, and we can all learn from each other, and realize that we're all fighting for the same thing.
Should I put on like the Reading Rainbow theme song or something?
I was just thinking like Fade to Black.
Fade to
like,
black
good
and
look-
lifetime.
Have him look up to the sky and like
Well, because it's really funny, because I'm going to walk away with that little tidbit there.
he's gonna walk away with that little tidbit, and up in the sky is just like a
I'm scolding.
half-sheet.
I am scolding my fellow Inquisitors.
Antonius is just in the sky, smiling.
Sky Dad.
Mufasa.
Mufasa.
Proud of you, Nihilus.
I don't think he's gonna be proud of you, man. Anyways, they return to their conversation, discussing the merits of your team and their actions on Wrath, and the subsequent Exterminatus order, and discussing whether or not the corruption may have spread to the neighboring planets. So, is there anything anybody wants to do, or shall we?
At this point in time is when I'd probably be receiving that Vox call from Stubber.
Oh, okay. Ring, ring,
Right.
ring. Banana phone.
Wait. Zach being raptured.
Zach being...
Hi, Mom.
How was work?
Hi, Mom.
Hey, you guys!
Dinner was yummy.
Like when my mom walks in on our sessions.
Best part. Actually, no, second best part. The best part's when your sister noogies you. That's my favorite part.
Okay, he looks like he might be a while. We have how much more time? 23 minutes?
Yeah, 20 minutes.
Um.
Did you say hi to your mom for me?
Huh?
Did you say
No.
hi to your mom for me?
No, I did tell her to say hi to the internet though.
Good. Is that what she
I
does?
didn't hear it.
That's because I had my mic muted.
Why would you do that? Then
I don't know.
So the internet doesn't need to hear his mom's conversation with him?
Well, you wouldn't be able to hear it anyways. This mic doesn't pick up anything that's more than like that far away,
Good.
or my fan.
Good.
So,
Anyways, Roger.
didn't you see
Oh.
her waiting for a
Mhm.
solid 10 seconds?
no.
Anyways.
You can go ahead and check the screen. It was glorious.
So yes,
Um,
the Voxcaster goes off. Neolus answers it.
Nihilus, we're done here at Van Voigen's. I've told him once he finds any results on the trinkets we've given him to forward them to your chambers.
Ah, perfect. Well, would you like to meet at my chambers then?
No?
I've got some wine.
I've got a year of confidence built up.
I'm looking to spend it all at once. Nihilus, do we have any quarters that me and Tybalt will be staying in?
The
Yes,
rest of the
let me
group.
inquire about that and get back to you.
In the meantime, where are your chambers located? We'll meet you there.
I
You
tell
give
them where they are.
directions, yeah.
By the way, we can't hear you.
Good.
I see you mouthing stuff every couple of seconds.
My mic's still on. Fuck off.
It needs more gain.
Pop filter, too strong.
The pop filter is too strong. Anyways, you give him the directions.
And
So
barely-
you're
And
gonna
Neelis,
go, you're gonna
you
go
know.
down the corridor about 50 feet.
All right, so from Van Voigen's, right, you're gonna need to go down that hallway to the nearest lift. You're gonna go up 60 floors. You're gonna get out. You're gonna follow the main hallway down about 40 or so meters, and then take a left. Take your first right. Take your second left. Then you're gonna come into this big room, and you're gonna look for a statue of an Inquisitor holding a scepter, and from there you're going to go off of the right side of his scepter and take a left.
And then accelerate to 88 miles an hour.
I feel like I'm gonna
Straight
have
into
to
the
add,
wall.
I'm
Drew
gonna
you a
have to
map.
add directions and hallways to the list of things Stubber hates now.
Good. Good. Anyways, you give him directions, and Neelis, you know that your chambers, being one of the those invited by the Tyrantine Cabal, would be enough to house your entire group in comfortably in their own rooms.
Oh, okay. So I redact what I said.
You do.
Um,
Redacted.
you will be staying with me in my chambers. There is plenty of room to house all of us in your own rooms.
Is this like Futurama where Bender just thought he had a closet?
Yeah.
Good.
Danny's been sleeping in the closet. Danny, come out of the closet.
Okay. Anyway, we make our way there.
And you all meet up.
Cool.
Cool. And I think that's where we're gonna cut this session.
And then Tybalt suddenly disappears forever.
As you make your way into the room, you notice that
Tell me what's going on in the room.
you notice that Garvel isn't there with you, and that's where we're gonna end this session.
He's drunk.
He is drunk. He's
Oh, man,
always
stop
drunk.
breathing on the mic. God.
God damn it! Get a fucking pop filter.
God.
Good. R.I.P. headphone users.
Sorry for the ear rape.
Anyways, so did the Sororitas kidnap him again?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh no, Karen, she died. I just realized.
I didn't even know this till now. Karen's dead. Me.
No! Who will I falsely idolize now?
As you walk into Neelis' chamber, there is a 40-foot poster of Mercutio Barbosa.
Oh, yes.
And a bunch of soiled tissues.
Yes.
Define a
14.
bunch. Neelis has been in that room for quite some time before we got there.
Oh,
14.
God, sorry, guys. I left my confidence out.
Hey, you said you had a year of confidence built up. What the hell, man?
14 kiloliters of lotion. Empty.
Ooh.
I didn't
4
ask for the travel
crates.
size.
4 crates of KY jelly.
Good. Anyways, so yes, now we will do the end game stuffs. Which, since there was no combat and nothing particularly important happened that wasn't stuff that I just basically told you, you all get 100 XP, yeah! And you all have your money, yeah!
Wow.
And you're all responsible for giving me your inventory by next week, yeah! With your weight, yeah!
I can be Proctor now? Hell yeah.
You all have 2 clips for every weapon, yeah!
Can we buy more?
You can, but your current inventory has 2 clips for every weapon.
Even my bolter?
Yeah, even your bolter.
Fuck yeah. Never buying any more ammo.
That's it, done!
I'm gonna whip that thing out. I'm gonna take a full action aim. I'm gonna set it to burst fire. I'm gonna make sure I'm within 15 meters. And then I'm gonna do that only when it's absolutely necessary, and then I will never use it again.
So, Richard,
What's up?
I got concealment.
I don't care.
Well, that's my advancement.
Okay.
See, now I don't need to tell you like a week down the road.
I got
It's
rapid
done.
reload.
Alright.
Bam.
So combat,
What's up, Stubber?
as far as combat is concerned, the core rulebook is the official thing. If I have any changes, I will let you guys know and make a new reference. If there's any discrepancy with items besides the backpack, which I've reduced its carry weight to and what it's allowed to carry. For instance, you cannot put a crossbow in your backpack.
It's okay. I get rid of the thing.
Yep.
I just kept it in the case that we ended up doing something like that. Otherwise, I would have disposed of it prior.
You may have a single basic or larger weapon on you, and up to 2 pistols, and
Yes.
1 melee weapon, or you can swap out the pistol, another pistol for another melee weapon, or such.
That's exciting.
Beyond that, you guys need to get your inventories all figured out. You'll all have your money done, hopefully by next week, so when you need to buy stuff, you know how much money you got. And yeah, that's
Not
about
on
it.
camera. No, I
I
am.
have to buy stuff.
Well, if you want to buy anything.
Like buying anything fun though.
I need to check and make sure that my income is correct because I haven't changed it in a while.
Oh yeah, also finding weapons is now how it is in the book, not how we've been doing it.
Wait, you have to find weapons instead of buy them?
Well,
No.
you have to inquire. You're like, I want a lasgun.
You don't
I'm
go
like,
to a
alright,
shop and you-
inquiry.
You aren't like, hey, shopkeep, do you have this in the back? Instead, you're like, hey, do you know where I can buy this?
Oh.
And then you spend 7 months searching the planet trying to find the one shopkeep on the planet
Yeah,
who
pretty
sells
much.
who sells a cock ring, and you're like, ah,
I got
why are you the only guy?
You're the
It's
guy?
like,
I'm
I
the
don't know
guy.
why I even want this.
So yeah, everything works basically how it works in the book. If there's any changes, I will let you guys know.
Good.
Let us know. Let us know.
Yeah.
Lettuce?
Let us.
Yeah, let us.
Perfect. Are we gonna get a map of Scintilla?
Fuck no, you're not. It's a planet.
So.
I think you mean a map of like the chess.
Yeah, where we are.
No, you're not actually.
So, is the rest of this gonna be played on the planet or the galaxy map?
No, when you go to specific places, like if you go to one of the hives, I will give you a general map of that hive. If you go to another world, I'll give you the general map of your operational theater in that world. And as far as Lichess and the Bastion Serpentis, you don't really need a map.
Okay.
It's not particularly useful to use, so I'm not going to make one up for it. Like, basically the only time you'll get a map is when you're on smaller worlds, or if you're in a hive, or if there's combat.
Okay.
And as far as the hives go, I'll basically just be outlining like the Noble District, or wherever you guys are talking to people, or staying at. I'm not going to like outline the entire hive, because that would not be useful. So yeah. Anything else you guys want to know?
Yes, looking at income. How are you doing the rank increase stuff just by the book?
Yep.
Okay, so we would do that. The stipend that we got would be factored in with the 5,000 experience we got.
Yes.
Okay.
Not counting the experience you got and spent today.
Oh.
So just to 5,000.
Okay.
That's how much the year income stipend is for.
So, is it gonna be just us and Hannah?
Hannah? Yeah.
It's gonna be just you guys and Hannah.
Yeah.
She
And-
shows up.
Zach eventually again.
Yeah,
In like a
maybe
month.
drop in, drop out at some points.
Yeah. I can't believe.
Yeah, we can get Brittany to
fucking-
play, right?
Yeah. She'll be quieter than
Hannah.
Hannah.
Rodney prior to drinking.
Eh. I'm really bummed that Rod and Max aren't gonna play anymore.
Yeah.
Oh wait, really?
Rod might come back later in it, and Max also may come back someday.
Oh. I didn't see anything that said Max was done. I
He
just
just
saw.
sent it to me.
It was a message to just Richard.
Hmm.
You know, the important one of you fucks.
Yeah.
Hey.
So what you're saying is we should have let him die.
Yeah, I don't see why you were so mad. It's not like he's gonna show up and help you anyways.
Sure. He's my bro.
I just have to come up with convincing reasons why they're never around to help you anymore.
Like stabbing them in the stomach.
Mm-hmm. So, Frawl died, and Garvel blew his brains out because of that. And there you go.
They were so close.
Grim Darkness, far future.
Well, at least with Garvel, you could be like, yeah, he went to go search for
Search for
whoever
them.
killed his family.
Yeah.
Get over your dead parents.
And Frawl was like, I feel like doing that. And they didn't respect Neelis to stay around.